Hey YouTube family, Mr. Black Mama 305 back here with you again, and we're here to do another video. As you guys can tell by the title, it's about the Grand Power STRIBOG SP9A1, and I think this is the Gen 2, Gen 3. I think I'm not 100% sure, but it's the one that doesn't have the reciprocating charging handle. And I know it's been done up many times, but if you guys know my channel, you guys know that I take my time when I'm doing stuff. I shoot them in my own time. I don't do it with other people because it's my review of the firearm and not anybody else's. Guys, before we go ahead and start the video, if you have not subscribed, go ahead, like, subscribe, and share the video. It's not gonna hurt you guys. It's a simple press of that notification bell, that channel bell. Just like, subscribe, and share the video if you can, if you want to help a brother out. All right, without further ado, with that said, let's get into the interview. So, this is what we're talking about. We are talking about the Grand Power STRIBOG. Now, this gun is from Slovakia, obviously imported in here in the United States. This one is wearing SB Tactical brace. I know in a few, before we get anything out Bray, I know in a couple of, like a month or so, this might be legal. So this video is coming. The video is done before any such law has been passed. So hope I'm not in any kind of violation before that goes ahead. Anyways, with all that said, let's get into the review, guys. All right, guys, PCCs, pistol caliber carbines. It's the new craze, man. I mean, I've been into PCCs for a while. I remember for a long time I wanted to get the CX4 Storm from Beretta. Everybody, if you don't know what a CX4 Storm is, take a second, look that up, come back to the video, and you see what it is. Back in the days, I wanted that thing so bad. And then after that, I didn't get one, but after that, I wanted the MP5 so bad. And then that was mad expensive for me at the time. And so I kind of like put that out of my brain and I started going after other firearms, that I wanted. I know if I really wanted to pick up MP5, I could have probably, put some money together and buy one. But, I never did fire the shot for that, but I end up getting other firearms. I have a CZ Scorpion, I have the Grand Power STRIBOG, I have the Chris Vector. If you guys see my channel, you know the pistol carbines that I have. But today we're talking about this one, and the reason why I want to talk about this one is if you're thinking about getting into PCCs and you want to purchase something that is very good quality at a very reasonable price, then you are watching the right video. The Grand Power STRIBOG is such a weapon. I would put this right up there with the CZ Scorpion. When the CZ Scorpion came in and it was all the craze and everybody was jumping on, and it really revolutionized the PCC game. It was affordable. It was reliable. It was a gun that was widely known. Any video games you play, you know about the Scorpion. They upgraded it in many ways in terms of what we used to see on, like, in Modern Warfare, Call of Duty stuff, compared to actually what the gun was. It ran very well. It suppressed very well. Even though it was a direct blowback and it had a little bit of recoil, it was very steady. And this gun is also a blowback operated gun. This is the SP9A1. And it is an amazing gun. I think this is the Gen 2, because the Gen 1 had a reciprocating charging handle right here. A lot of people didn't really like that. Who wants to be hit in the hand every time a round goes off? So they upgraded it and made this non-reciprocating charging handle here, and it's pretty good. Anyway, before I jump the gun, like I said, guys, if you're gonna look for a firearm that's gonna give you a good value for not a very expensive price, the Grand Power STRIBOG is such a gun. I would put, like I said, I would put this up there with the CZ Scorpion. They're somewhat around the same price point and same kind of quality. CZ Scorpion has been tried and tested over the years, so we know what that does. This one is right behind that, because I think this came out not too, about maybe a year or two after the CZ Scorpion was gaining popularity. And since then, you can watch all your favorite YouTube channels. Yes, they have had some hiccup with the magwell and feeding, but beside that, I think Grand Power has smoothed that out. So we're gonna get into video, and like Garand Thumb said, that's one of my favorite channel. Garand Thumb, very entertaining. If you guys have not watched his channel, go ahead and check it out. Like he would say, we're gonna start from tip to butt. All right. So first thing we're gonna start talk about. Just give you some specification on the gun before I run it down. This is the Grand Power STRIBOG. It's made in Slovakia and imported here into the United States for civilian use. All right, so the Slovakian military and police force, they actually use this firearm. So this is pretty much a military grade firearm. Maybe for them, they have a little bit more modification. Maybe the barrel's a little shorter for CQB, so forth like that. It's probably reinforced with a little better rivets and stuff like that. But this is pretty much what the Slovakian army use. So don't think that you're just getting some old thrown together weapon and it's no good. It's been tested and proven, just like the APC9. And this gun is always compared with the APC9, which is 3 times the cost. And this gun, I think, is right on par with it. Yes, the APC9 from B&T, which is, you know, the military's new PDP weapon that they're assigned. I think that gun is very well made. I've never shot it, but I've seen it shot in many videos. I've seen people at the range shoot it. It seems like a well-built thing. But honestly, it costs 3 times as much as this. This one, I think, is designed off of that platform. They did not take everything. That platform is a little bit more robust. I think the finish is a little bit better just from seeing it at the range, but this is not that far behind. This is a very reliable weapon, and we're going to talk about reliability as we go along too. Guys, this video might be a little bit long, but stick with me if this is a gun that you are looking to purchase. You might want to stay to the end of the video. All right, so some of the specification. This is from Grand Power. This is the SP9A1. There's a second generation, I think, or a third generation, I think. If you go onto Grand Power's website, there's a lot of iterations of this firearm. They have 16-inch barrels, some that come without the folding brace, some that come with a stock. The SP9A3, which is the roller delayed version. They have, they just have a plethora of different versions of this firearm, so you can check that out. Obviously, this is 9x19 and 9mm. I'm not quite sure if you can get this in 40 and 45, but it's the most popular. The length is the most popular caliber is the 9mm. This gun is about 24 inches in length, and that's from tip to the butt. I don't think that's included the SV Tactical, obviously. So this one, this one has a folding brace, guys. So when it is folded like this, it is about 24 inches, and obviously it's longer when the stock is not collapsed. With the stock, it's 24 inches. Without the stocks, it's 17.5 inches. It has an 8-inch barrel. Okay, this is just the quick specs I'm going to go over, guys. I'm going to go in more detail. 8-inch barrel, and without the magazine loaded, it comes in at 7. The height from without the magazine, from the bottom of the mag well to the top, I think that's about 8 inches. I'm sorry, and then the width is 2.2 inches. What else? The width is 70, the weight is 72.5 ounces empty, and like I said, guys, it's in 9mm. So that's just some quick specs I want to go over with you guys. And again, guys, you can go on Grand Power's website and look up all that spec stuff. I'm not really here for that, that kind of, just looking at specs. I'm talking about my personal experience with the firearm and giving you guys my opinion on the firearm. So we're going to start from tip to butt, guys. All right, the first thing that when you look at the firearm, guys, the first thing you're going to think of, it comes with a threaded barrel right off the rip. All right, it comes with a nut protector, barrel protector. So this is 1/2 by 28, and this is the protector, if you guys can see it. It's nothing special, 1/2 by 28. A lot of guys who are gonna run this suppressed or put on a muzzle brake on it, if you're gonna run it suppressed, I know a lot of people that have suppressors that use 3-nut lugs. Now this one does not come with a three nut lug, but you can actually purchase any of those for about $45 to $55 and put that if you have a suppressor that takes a 3-nut lug. But mostly it's 1/2 by 28. So your regular screw-on suppressors, compensators, flash hiders, what have you, are gonna work just fine on this one. And pretty much that's that for the tip of this. And like I said, moving down from the from the threading, 1/2 by 28, the barrel itself is 8 inches. Now a lot of pistol caliber carbine, they're gonna come in with more of a 5-inch barrel, 4.5-inch barrel. I think the Scorpion, the CZ Scorpion, has like a 5-inch barrel. This one is 8 inches, and I don't really think you need more than 8 inches, because with 8 inches you're gonna get like pretty much a maximum burn on a 9mm. to get something even longer. The velocity might increase a little bit, but not exponentially. It's just going to be what it is. So the barrel is a pretty thick barrel at 8 inches. I think it's just perfect just for, just reaching out and touch something, because with the CZ Scorpion, that's a 5-inch barrel, and you can pretty much reach out to 100 yards. If you shoot a pistol, you can shoot at the 100 yards. With an extra 3 inches, man, I think you can get a little bit more velocity and a little bit more capability out at longer distance. I'd say the upper receiver, guys, it's a metal receiver. All right. You have a Picatinny rail on top, a full length Picatinny rail on top, and then on the sides you have M-lock rails. So if you want to, put on your M-lock slots or any lights or laser you want to stick in there, that works just fine. On the top of it, guys, you can see there's a full Picatinny rail on top. You can put on your scopes, your red dots, your what have you. You also can put a light on there if you want. I've seen guys put lights on top that are low mounted, and then with a red dot that's raised a little bit higher. For me, it's just a red dot. I'm just mounted directly to the PIC 19 the Picatinny rail, and it also has a Picatinny rail on the bottom. As you guys can see, I put on my AFG angled foregrip on here. I just had this lying around in my box of stuff. All the ones that are black already, I pretty much didn't use. I've used them already, so I just put on this one because I had it. Feels good. I think I'm gonna take this one and spray paint it, or just pretty much buy one that's black that matches the firearm. Or if I buy a red dot, get it in the desert tan color and put it on there just to offset it. But you have Picatinny rails on the bottom, where pretty much just the whole. If you turn this into SBR, obviously you can put a foregrip. Like a grip on the front, but for now, obviously, you guys know that if it's shorter than 16 inches, you cannot have a grip here, and so I put a foregrip. Again, like I said, guys, there you have the slots, M-lock slots here for your lights, laser, what have you, and that's pretty much it for the upper in terms of the upper receiver. On this side, on the left side, we have the charging handle. Gonna rack that. And as I said before, the charging handle is not reciprocating. It's not a reciprocating charging handle, meaning that when the gun with triggers pulled, the round is fired, the charging handle doesn't consistently go back and forth. This one just stays where it's at. What I noticed about this one is when I'm shooting, sometime I did a video where I was shooting. I think I'm gonna go ahead and put a video at the end or somewhere in there when I'm editing. But this tend to move around a little bit once the bolt is going back and forth. Not a big thing for me, but if they had done something to keep it locked in place, maybe a magnetic stop or something like that to lock in place, that would be good. Hopefully in future iterations of this gun, they would do something to correct that. Not that it bothers me much, but just a note for that. So again, the Gen 1s, I think, are the first generation. They were reciprocating charging handle, but like I said, guys, who wants to put their hand here when this thing is going back, man? That will take your fingers off. So this version, the SP9A1, I think this is the Gen 2, no reciprocating charger handle. Like I said, a full Picatinny rail up top, and it comes with built-in flip-up sights. That is just amazing for the quality, for the price you're paying for this. And guys, without the SB tactical brace, you can get these from around from $650 to about $700 or $800, depending on where you buy it or what state of the climate the economy is in. Obviously, when we're going through the vid, these were way more expensive. Now everything has calmed down a little bit. It's not as expensive. You can get them for about $6 and change, so they're not super expensive, but you're getting a lot of quality. I think that there's reciprocating charging handle. You can take it out, flip it around, because this gun is fully ambidextrous, and that is amazing. So obviously you can put it on this side. You can just take out a pin and put it on this side and charge it from the right hand side too. It also has M-locks on both sides, so on the left and the right, as you guys can see. And back to the flip-up sights, guys. They're very nice flip-up sights, and I can tell you that right out of the box, guys, when I put this up, I was hitting steel right away. I don't know what Grand Power did, but they made this thing accurate right out of the bag. I don't know if their machining is programmed for all of them. That speaks volume about their machining, because if you can just pick up a rifle out of the box and it's dead on, man, that says a lot. Because I've seen more expensive guns, and I've shoot more expensive guns that you take out of the box, and that thing you spend how many rounds trying to sight that in. It has a flip up sights, and it has a peep sight in the back and flip up sight in the front. This is pretty much more for slow accuracy, not necessarily for rapid shooting. But most people are gonna put a red dot or some kind of, assisted sighting on the top, scopes, what have you, on here. Scope is not necessary, but a nice red dot should do the job. It is nice that they put in this the sights. I think it's a very nice touch. When you flip them away, they go away so nice and neat. Look how neat that is. It just flips right out of the way. You don't have to add another sight to it, emboss this and emboss that. I think with the APC9, which is which this one is kind of modeled after, that's a more expensive version. That's almost $2,500. This one is about $600. So for 3 times the price, I don't really think that you're gonna get 3 times the gun with APC9. And that one has some emboss sights, and you have to adjust the rear, and I've heard that those things come out and they're not as accurate right off the rip, so you pretty much have to go do that. But this one, right out the box, it is ready to go. Along with the flip up sights, guys, if you guys can see there's also pistol sights. So if you guys can see right there, flip up sights, and then the way they design it, they give you some pistol sights right there. So same thing in the back, guys. You got a little rear sight right there. It's a little pistol version. You can, I don't know if you guys can see it. You can, if you just really want to get really low on it and just shoot it like a pistol like that, then yes, you can do that, but then again, you have the flip up sights if you want to do that. Obviously, you can add a red dot scopes. All right, let's move on, guys. Talked about reciprocating charge, non-reciprocating charging handle. Lower. You know what? Let's talk about magazines. This one comes with 3 magazines right off the rip. I think the APC9, that comes with 1 magazine, I think. Don't quote me on that one, but I think it comes with 1. This one comes with 3 polymer mags. And honestly, I'm not that impressed. I don't know if you guys can see it on camera, but when I squeeze it, it's a little bit, it's a little, you can actually move it around and let the sides of the magazine touch the follower. I can a little bit, if you guys look there. You guys can't see it, but I can feel it. But I know when they just came out with the version 1, that was a problem. They were having a lot of feeding problems. And I remember when I just shot mine, I think the first couple of rounds I was using some Talamo 9mm casing. They weren't that great, and I remember I had a malfunction where the round, after it fired, the casing turned around inside the chamber, and I couldn't shoot it anymore. I had to do some fan dangling to try to get it out there. So they were having some problem with the earlier mags. Since this is the Gen 2, I think they might have solved that. With the SP9A3, I think they came out with some metal field lips. I really don't know if that really solved the problem. I've not really used any of these. This is just the ones I've had. But so far, besides that one malfunction I talked about, I didn't oil the gun or anything. I just went out to the range so excited, started putting some steel case mag, and I started just going down range. So that was that. I had that one malfunction. I stopped shooting. Ever since then, came home, pulled it down, oiled on everything, cleaned up everything, went back, same ammo, better ammo, and then it just ran like a champ. So real quick, guys, the box it came in is... This is the box it came in, guys. Very good presentation. Real nice presentation. Like I said, came with 3 magazines. Very nice. I've seen guns that cost 3 times as much that come in paper boxes. And like I said, come with 3 magazines. I know in here you guys are going to see 4, plus the one that I'm showing you on the outside makes 5. What happened is I took my car in for servicing, and I was talking to the owner of the place that I was getting my car done at, and we started talking about firearms. And so he bought the A3 he bought the curved mags. And so he had extra mags lying around. He had 2 extra mags lying around. And so I offered to pay him $20 for the 2 mags that he had. And he said yes. And so that's how I got 2 more. But these are the 3 mags that it comes with. Nice foam casing. cut out for the firearm without the SB tactical brace, and it's a pretty nice box. Even if you don't want to use it for this gun, you can pretty much take it out and modernize it, and modify it, sorry guys, for something else that you'd like to shoot. But the box is very nice and sturdy, very sturdy box. Put this back in here. Very sturdy box. I would definitely use this box for something else. So they gave me that, and I appreciate that. So that came with 2 magazines, guys. Let me put this back in there. So, and for me, like I said, guys, I didn't have any problem with the firearm. It performed just well. So going down to the lower receiver, guys, like I said, the gun is fully ambidextrous. The selector switch, nice positive clicks to it. It's not super hard to move. Some guns, you use a selector, it's super hard to manipulate. This one is super easy. Nice tactile click. You guys can hear that. Super easy. Not hard for kids or your significant one if they want to. Let me turn the camera down so you guys can focus more on the gun and less on me. All right. So again, like I said, guys, if you guys can see, fully ambidextrous. The selector switch is on both sides. Mag release, same thing as on the left side. Let me show you guys that. On the left side. All right. Same thing on the right side. So same thing with the mag release. Mag release on the left side right there, guys. I don't know if you guys can see that. And then mag release on the right side. All right. Mags, put that. You have to strip them out. They don't fall out as easy, guys. So that's one thing to take note about. Right where the mag well is, it has a little bit of, I don't know if you guys can see that, sort of like a textured kind of thing that, you can use that to grip onto the gun while you're shooting or whatever. I think it's a nice touch, really. Or when you're stripping the magazine, you have a nice little purchase right there. So boom, you can take it out there. I like that nice little touch that they had. Move on to the trigger. The trigger is about a 3 to 5 pound trigger, flat face trigger, very nice. Let me see if you guys can hear that. Oh crap! Damn. All right, so let me try that one more time. Take it off safety. Nice. Reset. Nice. Try it one more time. You can reset. Look how short that trigger is, guys. Reset. That's the reset. And that's the trigger. It's about a 5 pound trigger again, guys, like I told you. So that makes for a good follow-up shots, guys. It is a pretty good shooter. I'm gonna tell you guys right out the box. This is a blowback operated firearm, guys. So it's gonna be a little bit violent. I think the SP9A3 is a roller delayed blowback, so that's gonna feel a little bit softer. But for the price that I'm getting this one at, in the $600 price range, if you're gonna go ahead and it's your first time and you want to spend the extra money to get that a little softer shooting, roller delayed, within the bolt carrier there's like a little pin there, and what it does, there's a small delay when it comes back, and that gives you a little bit softer of a shooting gun. For some people it's a big deal. Somebody like me, I've been shooting high points and Palmetto State Army AR-9s and my CZ Scorpion and the Chris Vector. Well, the Chris Vector, you can't really compare it to a lot of these guns because the Chris Vector has a totally different system. But honestly, I hear people complain about blowback, and to be honest with you guys, I don't give one rat's ass about no blowback, man. I'm a big guy. I weigh about 200 pounds and I'm shooting this thing, man. You think I care about no blowback and all that stuff, man? I don't really care. I think a lot of the YouTube channels, they look to talk about, the blowback and roller today blowback and what soft they're shooting. I don't care, man. It's a firearm. There's violence going on inside the firearm. You're getting some recoil. You shoot a handgun, that thing is going off in your hand. Come on. You have so much more points of contacts on this thing. Whether it's delayed or not, I really don't care. My shoulder is here. My hand is here. My other hand is wrapping around it. My chest is on the side. Man, I don't care about no blowback, man. I really don't care about that. I never cared about it. Yes, if I had the opportunity to get a roller delayed gun like an MP5 or something like that, yeah, I'm going to love it, if it's a softer shooting platform. But besides that, I really don't care about that. All right, let's move on. The trigger, like I said, guys, it's a flat straight trigger, really nice. You see how short the reset is, and you see what a nice trigger that is. The only downside about a lower receiver, guys, is the grip. Now, as compared to like a gun like the B&T APC9, where you can actually change the grip on a lot other pistol caliber carbine, like the CZ Scorpion and among others, you can take off this grip. It's just one piece right here, as you guys can see that. You cannot really take off this grip right here. It is what you see is what you get. But until you put your hands on that grip, they give you a lot of real estate. It fits the palm of your hand just great. It is just perfect, man. They did their homework on it. It feels amazing. The stippling on it, well, not necessarily stippling, but the texture on it is just nice. So you guys can see that texture right there on the back strap. Even, let me give you guys some light, even on the front strap, I don't know if you guys can see that there, it just grips onto your hand. Believe me, you're not going to want another change this out to another grip. Yes, if I could, I'd probably put, you know, another different type of grip on it if I could, but if this is the only thing that I have to stick with, I'm going to be fine. You know, so and that's pretty much it. I don't have any complaints about the grip. It feels just fine. You have if you're wearing gloves, it has the trigger guard is amply enough if you're winter shooting. Look how big that thing is. You know, the undercut right here for your fingers just fine to grip that gun. It is pretty much amazing. There's nothing really. The magwell, when if you want to do speed loading, you can't miss that. The magwell has just a little bit of flare on it right there. You guys can see. And again, I love this little texturing right here. You can use to hold on to the gun when you're shooting if you don't want to use a foregrip or a grip on the front. So, you know, they really thought out this weapon. And yes, it's not like a $3,000 firearm like the APC9 or some other carbine, but guys, they give you a lot of value. The finish on it is, I think the finish on the upper receiver could be a little bit better, but for the price point, man, you can't really complain, man. It's a pretty sweet deal. And if this is going to be your first firearm and you get into PCCs, I would definitely suggest the Grand Power STRIBOG or the CZ Scorpion. The CZ Scorpion, you might be paying a little bit more, but either way you go, I think you're going to be great. I don't have a suppressor. I don't intend on buying a suppressor unless you know, the market, the climate for 2A, the community changes and we can pretty much buy suppressor without paying the ATF $200. Until then, I'm going to leave this thing unsuppressed, man. But this is actually a great suppressor OS. You can watch all those videos with Mac from Military Arms channel or Iraqi Veteran 888. They've suppressed it. I don't need to suppress it for you. You can see those videos and it seems like a pretty good suppressor OS. There's not a lot of blowback of carbon in the back into your face, not from what I could see, but you know, if I do decide to put a suppressor on it, I know this is going to be a great suppressor OS. I know that from the rip. And let's talk about the backpack. So this comes not the way how you see it. I ended up putting the SB Tactical brace on it, but this one comes with an end cap that you cover here. And without a climate is again within the 2A community and pistol braces. I'm pretty much going to, when the time comes, I'm pretty much taking off this pistol brace and either destroying it or do away with it, but I'm not going to destroy my firearm. Just to let you guys know that now. I paid for this, and unless the ATF is paying me to destroy this for what I paid for the gun, then I'm not going to destroy it. I will destroy the SB Tactical brace. I would get rid of it, but I'm not going to destroy my gun and both of it. Doesn't make any sense. So it comes with an end cap here that you can take off the end cap and just put the SB Tactical brace. Obviously, it's folding. If that's the case, guys, and you have to shoot this like a pistol, guess what? It's just fine because you can still hold it. It's not heavy. It's balanced very well. You can still hold it like a pistol and shoot. Same thing with the CZ Scorpion. Same thing with with my Chris Vector. I don't have a problem shooting this like a pistol. Not a problem one at all. And so you guys can put a plethora of different OST on this, but SB Tactical was one that, I'm sorry, the one that I chose to use. I'm pretty sure there's others out there. The takedown is kind of like an AR-15. It's pretty much the pin here, not that pin out. It pivots, and then you take it out, clean it. And like I said, it's super simple, as something similar to like an AR-15 setup, you know, with you can see the selector switch here. you know, it's pretty much an AR